All right, I have a sickening story to report for you all. And this new video that we just acquired made me angry this morning. So I'm going to channel all of that anger into this video and explain cleanly and concisely why the current people in power hate America. They don't care about America. They are the antithesis of America. So let's start here. We have a new video showing a current DOJ official screaming, urging January 6 rioters to kill cops. Now, this video was, of course, taken 5 years ago, before Biden took office, when Donald Trump was trying to thwart the peaceful transfer of power in any way possible. All of the people that showed up on that day were doing it to stop the peaceful transfer of power, and some people were extra, openly, brazenly fascistic, like the DOJ official that I'm about to show you. When I skip about halfway through this video, you see the guy to the left on screen who is currently working at the Department of Justice, which is being openly politicized, which is being used to target political opponents. He's standing there screaming, yeah, F them, yeah, kill them, yeah. He is urging people to kill the Capitol officers who are just simply doing their job, protecting the Capitol, upholding the Constitution on a sacred day where the peaceful transfer of power has always happened peacefully. It's in the name, except for this time, except when these fascists showed up and decided to scream and yell. And you know what the scary thing is? I can guarantee, I would bet money, if this mob would have gotten their hands on somebody like Mike Pence or a Nancy Pelosi or an AOC or, God forbid, anybody, they would have killed them. Groupthink or mob mentality is a very, very powerful thing, and it leads to some insane stuff. Like, they would not have stopped. I'm surprised more Capitol officers weren't grabbed and beaten, but we've already seen numerous videos of, Brian Sicknick died shortly after. There's a video of the cop's face being repeatedly smashed in the doorway. I'm sure you guys can picture the video I'm talking about. And now we have this video, what I'm about to show you. It's only a small piece of hundreds of videos that prove these people were fascists, were there because of Donald Trump. And I also want to highlight very quickly, Donald Trump is the one who caused this, and then after the fact calls these people patriots or leaders, or say it was a day of love. These people are not patriots. They hate America. They are the antithesis of America, and they would destroy it if they could. I will go so far as to say that the next Democratic administration should deport these people, deport the January 6ers I'm talking about, the people who were there violently and trying to shred the Constitution. A lot of them can't be investigated or jailed due to the presidential pardons on a federal level, but something needs to be done about the absolute fascists in the video that I'm about to show you. Very quickly, at the end of this video, I'm going to interview a DOJ official who recently resigned because of this politicization. So I urge you to stick around up to the end because we're going to go in depth and interview someone that we got access to that was in the DOJ just a few months ago. So make sure you drop a like on the Adam Mockler channel. Make sure you're subscribed and stick around until the end. If you live in or around Omaha, Nebraska, I am doing an in-person event with Senator Elizabeth Warren and Maxwell Frost, Representative Maxwell Frost, on August 23rd, Omaha, Nebraska. Just go click the top link in the description or go to won'tbackdowntour.com. Thank you, and let's just play this video. I mean, I'm going to put a trigger warning because there's a lot of cussing, but there's no blood or there's no gore or anything. There's just cussing, so yeah.
You guys are disgusting. I'm former law enforcement. You're disgusting. You are the Nazi. You are the Gestapo. You can't see it because you're chasing your pension, right? Your pension, your retirement, right? That's what runs your life, your retirement.
The sad thing is they're not even going to get their pension because it's going to be worthless.
Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you. Yeah. Fuck that. Yeah.
What a despicable person. I say it one more time. The next Democratic administration, when they get into power, needs to be aggressive. Now, let me caveat. We need to make sure that due process is still intact and make sure that everything is constitutional. But these people need to be taken care of. These fascists who think they can overrun our country, we need to set the precedent that you can't do that. And listen, Democrats aren't perfect on our side. Nobody's expecting people to be perfect. In fact, the Democrats are actually uniquely unpopular. So there's a lot that we have to fix on our side, but we're not doing that. Never have liberals or lefties tried a fascist takeover during the peaceful transfer of power. Listen to this. Less than 5 years after urging rioters to kill police at the Capitol, a former J6 defendant is working as a senior advisor for the Department of Justice, which has been dramatically remade under the second Trump term. NPR has obtained police body cam footage from multiple angles of the former defendant and current administration official. I just want to make sure I'm crystal clear. He is currently working in the Department of Justice. He wasn't working there 5 years ago during this. He's working there now. Jared Wise, the current administration official, was berating officers, calling them Nazi and Gestapo. Again, Jared Wise is his name, and I guarantee this guy now defends ICE. How do they have reality so inversed where ICE is the good guy and the Capitol officers defending like Mike Pence and Nancy Pelosi, somehow those are the Nazis? I don't get it. The Department of Justice introduced the footage as an exhibit in Wise's trial. NPR also obtained the transcript of Wise's testimony, in which he acknowledged that he repeatedly yelled to kill them as officers were being attacked and tried to explain his actions. Wise was not convicted of any crimes related to January 6 due to President Trump's order to end all Capitol riot prosecutions. Wow. These are the people that Donald Trump calls patriots or great people. A Department of Justice spokesperson said in a statement, Jared Wise is a valued member of the Justice Department. This makes me so angry. This makes me so angry. Not to get too ahead of ourselves, but when we reconsolidate power, it's not an if, when we reconsolidate power, we need to be extra aggressive. And lately, we've been doing a lot of events like the one that we're going to do in Omaha, the one that we did in Arizona. We've been doing a lot of panels and everything. I think there is a real chance that the community we're building here can have an impact on the next Democratic administration and keeping the current one in check. But Donald Trump has had so many people that were just online get absorbed into his cabinet and make change. So all I'm saying is that I really, really think that we can push the Democratic Party in a direction to hold people accountable when it felt like a weak 4 years. Like, how did these people raid the Capitol? And I'm sorry, but how did these people raid the Capitol and we were so weak over the past 4 years that we didn't have strong repercussions? A lot of this lies on Merrick Garland, to be honest. Merrick Garland should have gone harder. Maybe Biden could have appointed someone better than Merrick Garland. I think that is fair to say. So the blame falls on a lot of people, including Donald Trump, of course, but we need to hold them accountable. At this point in the video, I'm going to show an interview that I just did with congressional candidate Ryan Crosswell. He's running in Pennsylvania's 7th District. He was working at the DOJ just a few months ago, but resigned due to the blatant brazen corruption. I urge you to click the top link in the description and check out Ryan Crosswell's website. You can donate and support his campaign to support the cause, support someone who takes a stand. And without further ado, check out Ryan's story and watch until the end. Thank you. Today, I'd like to welcome to the show Ryan Crosswell, a Marine and former federal prosecutor who resigned on principle when the current administration tried to get him to politicize the Department of Justice. Ryan refused to dismiss a corruption charge against New York Mayor Eric Adams because there was no reason to. It was purely political. Now, Ryan is running for Congress in Pennsylvania's 7th District. Ryan, thank you for joining us. Thank you for taking a stand. How are you today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me, Adam.
Yeah, thanks for hopping on. So I guess let's start here. Can you walk my audience and I through the moment you realized you could no longer serve in your role at the DOJ? What made that decision unavoidable? And I'm assuming it was a tough decision, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is related to the case United States versus Eric Adams. It's a bribery case against New York City's mayor. It wasn't even our case. It was transferred to us by Pam Bondi's leadership of the Justice Department. And so I guess the moment would have been after my colleagues and I were ordered to dismiss the case. It started with our leadership in our office. They all resigned. These were dedicated public servants, folks who, could have been at law firms making 3 to 4 times what they were, but they wanted to be public servants and they wanted to enforce our laws and they wanted to prosecute corruption cases. So it was that, and then receiving that order, at that point for me, it just, as I testified to Congress, I didn't want to work for this leadership. I'd rather be unemployed and uninsured. But it was an incredibly tough decision. I have done that job for 10 years. It's an awesome job. I mean, number one, you feel fulfilled because you're representing the people and you're keeping communities safe. But two, it's just a fun job. Trying cases is fun. Going in front of a jury is fun. So, and I think I was pretty good at it. So it was really tough. But for me, it's one of these things, Adam. It was like one of the hardest decisions of my life and one of the easiest decisions. Of my life, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, when you see the own institution that you're working for get politicized so quickly and so recklessly, then yeah, it's a very tough decision. But thank you for making it. Thank you for taking a stand. I guess that brings me to the Republican talking point that we've heard a lot lately. They always say, "Why didn't Biden release the Epstein files?" Is it fair to say because Merrick Garland and at least the Department of Justice under Biden, they kept a lot more separation. Merrick Garland had a steady hand. He wasn't what Republicans accuse him of being. Is that fair to say?
Plenty of people have been critical of Merrick Garland, even among the Democratic side. But I think he was a very principled man, and he had saw what happened at the end of the first Trump administration, where it was becoming more and more politicized, especially at the point of the election. There should be separation between the Attorney General and the President. It is not, the Attorney General is not the President's personal lawyer. And it just seems that, Merrick Garland was very sensitive to that. As it relates to the Epstein file, I mean, look, it's one of these things where oftentimes much of what's in a public investigation or a public case, some of it may not be released. I think the issue here is that Pam Bondi came out and she said there's a file, there's names, it's on my desk. And so that piqued everyone's curiosity. And now she's saying there is no such file. And this is the problem, is this lack of transparency that we see over and over and over with this administration. So why it hadn't been released before, I can't speak to that. But I think now she's confirmed there's a list and it's not being released. And the question is why? Who's being protected?
Yeah, it's always just funny to me that Republicans start with this supposition that Biden and Merrick Garland were corrupt when, like you said, Merrick Garland was very principled, and that's why he wasn't like being asked by Biden to directly do this, I wouldn't guess. And meanwhile, they just accept, oh, Trump is directly weaponizing the Department of Justice. I guess that makes me wonder, what safeguards do you think should be put in place in the future to prevent this sort of politicization? Do you think we can restore public trust if we enact some guardrails?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question, Adam. I think to start, and this is one of the reasons I'm running for Congress, is we just need to start with better leadership and people that are going to put the country first. I mean, I think what we're seeing is there's only so many guardrails we can put up if you just have people that are not interested in what's best for the American people. And so I know that's probably sounds self-serving, but we need to elect better people, and we need to put people in office that are putting the country first. That's why I'm running for Congress. But to get to your point of like what we could do, like, for example, if the Democrats take back the House and Senate, I think for starters, reestablishing my old section, the public integrity section. I mean, the word integrity is literally in the name of the section. It's been disbanded. And that section was a nonpartisan group of prosecutors with a lot of experience who were responsible for at the state, local, and national level, prosecuting examples of public corruption, criminal abuses of power, profiting from office, and it's gone. And I think that should scare every American, because we need people to hold the powerful accountable. And now we don't have that.
It's very on the nose. Like, the Trump admin comes in and one of the first things they do is disband the public integrity sector. It's like, really just being brazen with it at that point. But thank you so much for taking a stand. Thank you for running in Pennsylvania's 7th District. You can find all of Ryan's social media links in the description below. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, Adam. I appreciate it.